Morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and today I am joined by...
Protoblob.
Yes, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the
Big
everlasting bringer of knowledge and links. So, anyway, today is Thursday, aka Thursday, February. What the hell? December. What the hell? Why am I in February? Damn. December 29th, 2022. Maybe because I said the 29th and February ends on the 28th. So, like, my brain does weird things. What can I say? Anyway, let's jump on into the history, shall we? You get to start us off here yet again, Mr. Blob. Good job, Blob.
Yeah, and we will see him also again in the deaths later. In 1170, English Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Becket, was assassinated before the high altar of Canterbury Cathedral, and the assassins were 4 knights.
Dang, that's a major event right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he. Oh, that's where the phrase "Who will rid me of this troublesome priest" came from. The king said that, and then they assassinated him.
Well, I guess themselves then.
In 1558, the King of Spain, Charles V, King of Spain and Holy Roman Emperor, he was buried in El Escorial, San Lorenzo de El Escorial in Spain.
Oh. Alright, rest in peace, Charles.
Well, we hope he was dead before they buried him.
Yes, one would assume that, but surprising how many people were buried alive accidentally. It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, he had died on 21st of September 1558, so over 3 years before. 3 months, I mean. 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. That's still a long time to wait till burial, you know. Jeez.
All right, and we have a very great man. In 1653, Dutch painter Jan Vermeer becomes a member of the Guild of St. Luke for painters in Delft.
Huh.
And of course, his most famous painting is the girl with the pearl earring. I don't know the exact English title.
We spoke about that before, right? I remember you talking about that girl with the pearl.
It could be.
Yeah, this one here. The girl with the pearl.
Let me see. Yes, this one.
And this is the one that really zooms in and shows like how this guy utilizes techniques. We have a new addition to the show.
Yes, thank you. Golden Moon.
Welcome.
Thank you.
But yeah, do you see here? We are looking at the girl with the pearl earring, as I call girl with the pearl. But you can see here, here's the actual painting, and it zooms in, and you can see the paint splotch that is the light stuff on the eye.
Oh.
That's supposed to be the shininess of the eye.
Oh, okay.
So it's a paint splotch.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's the artist?
Jan Vermeer.
Thank you. Yeah, we were just talking about him. He became a member of the Guild of St. Luke for painters in Delft on this date in 1653. He's a Dutch painter. So.
And if you look very carefully at the top left, there is his monogram.
Monogram?
Yeah, it says Meer, like the end of his name. But it's very hard to see.
On the girl with the pearl, or on this
yes,
picture of him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the girl. Yeah, it's very difficult to see at the top left.
I can kind of see it, I think. Oh, I see. Yeah, that is difficult. Anyway, we're going to move on up here into 1786. During the French Revolution, the Assembly of Notables was convoked. Convoked. What does convoked mean?
No clue.
Let's look that up here. Convoked means to call together or summon an assembly or meeting. So it was called. Like, you know, so they began assembly. We have a Lulikins in the house and a Doom in the live chat as well. Thank you guys for showing up. This chat has been big fisted. But yeah, so what was the Assembly of Notables? So let's look that up.
It was a group of high-ranking nobles, ecclesiastics, and state functionaries convened by the King of France on extraordinary occasions to consult on matters of state. Assemblymen were prominent men, usually of the aristocracy, and included royal princes, peers, archbishops, high-ranking judges, and in some cases major town officials. That's what Wikipedia says.
Yeah. So essentially, these are all the people who are going to get guillotined.
Yeah. He asked them for advice and then would create some edict or policies, you know.
That didn't work out too well. So.
Well, not anymore when people had enough of it.
Yeah. Yeah, a little too late by that point. Anyway, in 1806, we have a theater premiere here. Thomas Dibdin's pantomime, Harlequin and Mother Goose, starring Joseph Grimaldi, in his most famous clown performance, opened at the Covent Garden Theatre in London. So that's interesting. So it was a clown act.
Clown, yeah.
Yeah. Greatest clown in history, apparently. But why isn't he in his makeup?
Yeah, they should have showed him as a clown.
Yeah. Let's see here. Joseph Grimaldi. Let's see. Clown. Here we go. Huh. Alright, he's holding alcohol, so yeah. That's a great image for the kids. Now this is terrifying. Anyway. We also have, during the Trail of Tears, actually, let's see here, do we have a article in between? 1813? Yes. 1813, British burn Buffalo, New York during the War of 1812. Wow. So, that's not what they meant by, spicy wings. You know, hot wings.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's, British always trying to burn everything down during that war. What the heck? So.
Yeah. In 1835, the Trail of Tears Treaty of New Echota is signed between the United States government and representatives of a minority Cherokee political faction to cede all lands to the Cherokee east of the Mississippi River all lands of the Cherokee east of the Mississippi River to the United States.
We were talking about this earlier on our walk, you know, like the natives really did get a bum deal, but you know, they're still around, and like, you know, and the Trail of Tears is one of the worst things that we've ever, you know, caused in the States. This absolutely despicable. Like, kick them all out of their land, and it's called the Trail of Tears for a reason.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. I'll move my mic a little closer to the dad, man, so we can hear him.
Unfortunately, most of the great countries are built on very horrible crimes in the past.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Survival of the fittest, I guess.
I mean, as a German, I know.
Although we could say the number one contribution the UK has ever made to all the nations of the world is providing them an Independence Day.
And opium.
And opium. Yeah. Anyway. 1837?
Oh yes, the steam-powered threshing machine was patent. Oh my god, I can't speak today. It got a patent in Winthrop, Maine.
Nice. Steam-powered threshing machine. That sounds violent. Let's take a look. Let's see what that looks like.
It's that thing that threshes the grain. You know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very
The chaff down, or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Pardon.
separating the wheat from the chaff.
essentially.
Yeah. Are you doing all right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this looks a lot like from Tremors 3 or Tremors 4. Whatever, whichever one the prequel was, they had like something like that, an old
And
tractor apparatus thing.
Speaking of new technologies, your next entry in 1848 also is one.
It is. We have in 1848, gas lights were first installed at the White House during Polk's administration.
Oh, Brazil.
And as we
Gas
talked before, the Knox in James Knox Polk is not the namesake of Fort Knox. That was actually a general during the war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So just so gas lights. That gotta be careful with that. You
So
know.
I wonder when electric lights were installed in the White House.
Let's see here. When were electric lights installed in the
In 2022, when the gas prices got too high.
1891? Oh, so that wasn't that much longer after. Just another like 50 years, roughly.
Only.
Something.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And then we also have in 1857, I believe. Franz Liszt's symphonic poem Die Hundenschlacht premiered in Weimar.
Yeah, that was the capital of Germany for some time, but the pronunciation is Die Hunnenschlacht. It means the Battle of the Huns, like the people under Genghis Khan.
Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. And then 1862, Battle of Chickasaw Bayou, Confederate armies defeated General William T. Sherman. Oh, man. So Sherman got a defeat. That's not good.
But at the same day, also something happens that many people will love, because in 1862 the bowling ball was invented.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, don't we just bowl you over with these facts?
Oh, please, no more.
Do I need to pin that?
So
Hey, do you want me to spare you?
Please, yes, please stop.
you lost the battle, but you won a sport.
Yeah.
And 5 years.
I better stop before he splits.
And
I'm just throwing gutter balls here, aren't I?
5 years later, in 1867, the first telegraph ticker was used by a brokerage house, Groesbeck and Co. in New York.
Yeah, the ticker tape.
Yeah. All right. Did you know that they intentionally slowed down, like some of these stock, like the New York Stock Exchange and such, like not any actual companies, but the actual provider of the stocks themselves.
Yeah.
They intentionally have miles and miles of Ethernet cable and coils to slow down the speed, so that way, like for accuracy or something. I remember seeing a video about it. They intentionally slow down because the internet has gotten so fast.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Great.
like they intentionally slow it down to like I don't know, control stocks in certain ways. Like
Sounds
I
like
mean-
manipulation to me.
well, I mean, they are the stock exchange,
Yeah.
so they can manipulate all they want, apparently.
I mean, if you would make a cable that's long enough, you could have internet from the Earth to the Moon, and with only around 1 second delay.
Dang.
Jeez.
So, yeah, the speed of light. So it wouldn't be fast enough for online games, but it would be fast enough for news, email, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And our next entry is not as nice. In 1890, the Wounded Knee Massacre, United States 7th Cavalry massacred 200 plus captive Sioux at Wounded Knee, South Dakota.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we could have done that with all of them. Like, it's awful that we did it to begin with. And that is truly, disgusting. Over 200 people, and they were captured. They were in bondage, and then you kill them. Like, that is beyond inhuman.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, awful. Anyway, let's see here, 1891. Oh, here you go. You have one more, right, Bob?
No.
What?
I had my 3.
Okay. 1891, Edison patented transmission of signals electrically, the radio.
Oh.
So he patented the radio. I wonder who actually invented that. Who did he steal that from? So.
He patented what?
The radio.
Electronic transmission over air?
Transmission of signals electrically.
I don't know how that is supposed to work.
Well, like, radio waves and such, like you're transmitting,
Yeah, that's not gonna stay around for more than a few years. That kind of novelty.
I can see now you're joking. Those really, really, really dry German humor. But what else do we have here? 1902. Scott Joplin copywrote The Entertainer and several other piano rag compositions through the U.S. Copyright Office. Didn't we speak about that the other day?
Well, we talked about the wonderful music by Scott Joplin, but not about his copyright.
So I guess we spoke about him making The Entertainer or something, because I remember talking about this song.
The 1970s thing that used the Maple Leaf Rug and The Entertainer, I think.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that too.
And also we talked about him on other occasions. Yeah, the film The Sting from 1973, probably that. Yeah, we talked about it on the 25th.
Okay. That's why it's still fresh in my head. Anyway, 1908, a patent was granted for a 4-wheel automobile brake in Clintonville, Wisconsin. Oh, well, how about that? Brakes.
Yeah. What a concept.
That's when cars got too fast to brake. Otherwise, then you had to install brakes in them.
Yeah, well, I think, like, at 3 or 4 miles per hour, like, that seems slow, but, like, if you have no braking system, then you just have to coast. And, you might bump into something else, like, if you don't time it right. Like, it may seem slow, but, you try, maneuvering a car to a stop at 4 miles an hour without brakes.
I thought they had something that it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they had something that they would throw outside, like some kind of anchor that would slow them down. I don't know.
I think that was a thing for a little bit. Like, honestly, I think they did have car anchors.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure. I think I saw something like that, but maybe it was in some cartoon. I don't know. It's I don't remember the details.
The first car is a history of tethers and latch. No, they're talking about seat anchors. Well, I don't think without too much digging I'm going to find what exactly I'm trying to find here. But no, I think I remember seeing like a video of like one of the very first cars, and yes, like they only had one speed forward. Reverse wasn't even a thing until much later, let alone first, second gear, stuff like that.
Direct drive, that was it.
Yeah, and like as we're talking about 1908, first patent granted for a 4-wheel automobile brake, because like think about it, you're going from horse to horseless carriage. The horses have brakes; they just stop, and then the cart stops. You just cut power. Now you have nothing there. You're just going. So I can see. I can see them inventing like car anchors, just like have something tied to a rope or a chain and just create drag. Seriously, I've seen videos of that.
Kind of
Yep.
chew up the trail, right?
I don't know. Like, I don't think it was actual ship anchor because those are heavy. You know, they probably just had like a suitcase full of rocks or something. I don't know, full of bricks. Anyway, let's move on up here. 1911, Sun Yat-sen was elected the first president of the Republic of China, father of modern China, which is currently
he was.
so.
It was father of the nation in the Republic of China, Hong Kong, Macau, and the forerunner of democratic revolution in People's Republic of China.
Yep. Dang. 111 years ago.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. In 1921, Mackenzie King is sworn in as the 10th Prime Minister of Canada.
Hey, you had a king after all. Look at that.
Yeah. Blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
In 1929, we have Dutch colonial authorities arrest Sukarno and other key PNI leaders in Java.
Oh, dang.
And yeah, that we talked about him a few days ago. He was the first president of Indonesia, but before that, he was fighting for the independence of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Good guy. He got what he wanted.
Yeah, and he was also president to reap the rewards.
Yep.
And oh my God, yes! In 1932, we have Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers' first joint movie, Flying Down to Rio, directed by Thornton Freeland, premieres in New York City. Yeah, that's a great couple.
Yeah, the great dance duo.
We talked about Ginger Rogers the other day because she won an Oscar when. All right, it's your turn again, I think.
All right, 1933 is Sons of the Desert, film directed by William A. Cedar, starring Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, was released. Hey, Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
1933 as well, New York Yankees owner Jacob Rupert refused to release future Baseball Hall of Fame slugger Babe Ruth to manage the Cincinnati Reds. Huh. So, like, what does that mean? He didn't want him to manage the Cincinnati? Or...
He didn't want to release him from his contract.
Okay, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Then here we have in 1937, Constitution of Ireland. Irish is Bunreacht na Hairan. Anyway, the Constitution of Ireland, it was enacted and the Irish Free State was named Eire. Huh.
Eire?
Eire? It's
Yeah.
E-I-R-E, so how would you pronounce that? E-Eire?
No.
Eire?
I don't know what it, I never heard of that.
I mean, Ireland, Eire.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. In 1937, also Lou Thesz, however he's pronounced, he beats Everett Marshall in St. Louis to win the NWA World Heavyweight title, the youngest ever in
that is
wrestling.
National Wrestling Association, not to be confused with rap group NWA, and with attitude, you know. So.
Yeah, nice people with attitude.
Yes. Well, you know, they're nice now, you know, like Ice Cube's a marshmallow. So.
Yeah. And one of them is only worth $50. Unfortunately, his name is 50 Cent. And in the same year, in 1937, Pan Am starts service between San Francisco and Auckland, New Zealand.
Huh. All right. Pan Am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
And in 1940, the worst German air raid on London, as over 10,000 bombs, including the first incendiary bombs, are dropped on the city as part of the Blitz in World War II.
Yeah, the Battle of Britain. 10,000 bombs. That is insanity, bro.
Yeah, that's nuts, huh?
And incendiary.
Germany continued those air raids during the entirety of the war, and the first woman world chess champion, Mrs. Menchik, she died during in 1944. She died during one of such air raids.
Oh, that sucks.
Together with her sister and her mother.
At least, you know, they went out with family, and I wouldn't want to go out any other way personally, you know. I don't
Yeah,
want to go
but-
out, but if I have no other choice, you know.
She was arguably the greatest female chess player, at least of her era, but probably, you know,
Yeah.
she
And,
dominated for like 15 years women's chess at least.
Yeah. Anyway, 1944, General Eisenhower's train returns to Versailles. It's in France. So yeah.
Yeah, we talked yesterday that he met with the French president,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Charles de Gaulle, right?
No, Charles de Gaulle became president later. It was wait. Oh no, it was Montgomery. They met in
Oh,
Taft.
yeah.
Montgomery, yeah.
Montgomery.
Two
Uh,
generals.
It was
I was gonna say, I swear, like, because Charles de Gaulle was the president later, but I thought he was the leader of France during the Second
Yeah.
World War.
it was the British Field Marshal Montgomery, not the French president.
Yeah. And then 1 year later, 1945, Montreal right-wing Maurice Richards scored twice in Canadiens' 5-4 loss to Chicago Blackhawks to record his 100th NHL career goal. Reaches mark in 145 games, then fastest in history. Well, no, it was then the fastest in history. It has since been broken by Mike Bossy, 100 goals in 129 games. So, what's that, 15, 16 games earlier?
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
that's pretty close to a goal a game.
Yeah. In 1952, the first transistorized hearing aid was offered for sale in Elmsport, New York.
Huh. Transistorized. So with a transistor hearing aid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In 1955, Barbara Streisand's first recording, You'll Never Know, at age 13.
Wow, she started young.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
A voice.
Yeah.
but she was wrong about it. We do know about it.
Yeah. Well, we do know now, like, so. Or we
Yes.
did. Or we will.
In-
I don't know.
Yes. In 1962, British driver Graham Hill wins the South African Grand Prix in car racing at the Prince George circuit in a BRM. You can tell us what it is?
BRM. Let's see here.
He takes out his first F1 World Drivers' Championship, that's Formula One, by 12 points from Scotsman Jim Clark.
Well, it says BRM stands for Business Relationship Management. I don't think that's the correct term we're looking for. So racing. Let's see here. British Racing Motors. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right, that was a Formula One team, it seems.
Yep.
All right, and I think it's your turn, or
All right, 1965, Thunderball, the fourth James Bond film starring Sean Connery and Claudine Auger, premiered in Tokyo, Japan. That's okay. A British movie is premiering in Tokyo, because that makes sense. Hey, why not?
you know, for me, it's kind of strange to see Sean Connery as a young man.
Yeah, dude. Like, young Sean looks so not Seanish. Like, you know, to
Yeah.
our generation, he was already like, you know, very much older, and we remembered him from well, I remember him mainly from The Rock,
Oh, yeah.
like with Nicolas Cage.
yeah.
But he was also the voice of Draco in Dragonheart.
Did-
No, he did all kinds of movies. Lots of besides.
He was the dad of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
yeah.
I just tried to find if I remember correctly that he was in The Name of the Rose. Yes, he was. He was William of Baskerville in The Name of the Rose.
Ah,
That's I think how he became famous outside of the James Bond movies.
yeah. Well, he was the original James Bond.
Yeah, he was James Bond to me. Always will be.
Shaken, not stirred. We got a music single here in 1965. The Supremes released single "My World Is Empty Without You." Aw. Well, I don't even know them, so that sounds like a stalkerish.
You haven't heard the Supremes?
Not really. Like we've
Wow.
reported on them a couple times. I before that never even heard of them.
Diana Ross, have you heard of?
No, doesn't look familiar. That's Diana Ross right there.
Yeah, I know.
But no, never heard of them.
Wow.
As I keep saying, I'm very culturally ignorant. Like
Well, this is music.
music is culture.
Stop.
What is that on your shirt?
No idea.
It's a leaf or something up here.
Let's try to. No, Baby Love, Stop in the Name of Love, Love Child, very much love in their names. Don't Love, and
Wow.
Nathan, because they needed to do a title without love in it, I guess.
Anyway, 1967, Star Trek's Trouble with Tribbles first airs. Those are those like squeaky ball fur things, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The Tribbles.
It's a very famous episode.
Yeah, these things. They're like an alien species, and they reproduce
Yeah.
really quickly. They're literally just balls of hair.
Yeah.
It just looks like Trump's hair.
You
Seriously.
see, I don't know. I don't have Trump's hair here, but it was the 15th episode of the second season of the original series. So it starred James Tiberius Kirk as zookeeper of the Tribbles, I guess.
For some reason, somebody went through the trouble of making a cross section of a tribble showing the anatomy. So I don't want to look at that. That's kind of
No, please not.
yeah. We do not need a lesson on tribble anatomy. We're going to move on up to 1968. The AFL Championship at Shea Stadium in New York City. New York Jets defeated Oakland Raiders 27-23. Joe Namath 3 touchdown passes sparks Jets to win. And then John Madden must have been coaching at that time.
Yeah,
So-
he would have been the coach.
Yeah.
We talked about him yesterday because he died a year and a day ago.
Yeah. He died yesterday, 1 year ago.
Oh.
Yep. John Madden.
John Madden.
Seems a lot longer than that. You know? Like,
could be.
it's really weird. Some celebrities died so far away and it seems a lot closer, and other celebrities died essentially yesterday and it feels like it's been years.
Yeah.
You know?
All the traveling
Yeah.
he had a fear of flying, so he took a train everywhere.
Like Sean Connery's only been dead for just over 2 years. You know?
Yeah.
And it seems
Hey, John Connery is dead?
so fresh. Sorry, what?
Oh, I didn't know that John Connery is dead.
Yeah, he died on October 31st. Is that what it said? Yeah, he died on Halloween in 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyway, you got a Ballon d'Or in 1970.
Yeah, we have a Ballon d'Or. Bayern Munich striker Gerd Müller, the one of the most famous German soccer players. He wins the award for the best European football player. That's how they call soccer here. Ahead of West Ham United defender Bobby Moore and what is this?
Calgary.
Cagliari forward Luigi Riva. That's some Italian club that I never heard of before.
Yeah, Cagliari. Huh. I read that as Calgary. Like, no.
It's a commune in Sardinia, Italy, so that's probably the city name then.
Huh. All right. And I've heard of
All
West
right.
Ham United a lot. So,
Yeah. And in 1978, the Shah, that is the king of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, asks Shapur Bakhtiar to form a civilian government.
is that the guy? That was weird. Is that the guy who couldn't find a place? He was like going all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No country to take him in.
Yeah. Whoopsie. That's when you know you really screwed
I
up.
think he finally came here.
Yeah, I think he came here, but like then we didn't take him, but he ended up somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually,
don't know.
probably like where did he die? He died. Okay, but wait, where? You know what? Let me see here. Pull up his wiki. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Place of burial. Okay, well he was buried in Egypt. But he died in Cairo. Okay, so I guess Egypt finally did take him. So.
Oh yeah, he was deposed everywhere.
Yeah.
After he and his his family were sentenced to death.
Jeez.
Oh, that was essentially the Iranian counterpart of the French Revolution, but it went the other direction, away from freedom.
Away from freedom. Anyway, you get to talk about the legendary Bob Marley here.
All right. In 1982, the Jamaican Post issues a commemorative postage stamp featuring reggae singer Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And you know him from the version of Bob Dylan's song "All Along the Watchtower," which he made essentially a very own version.
Didn't he also say, "Don't worry about a thing, everything's gonna be all right"? Isn't that his song?
Yeah, that's "No Woman, No Cry."
Yeah, that one.
And also, he in 1963 he was in a group called the Wailing Wailers with friends, and achieved local success there.
That's cool.
And of course, Bob Marley was known for many other things like the Rastafari movement and
Rastafarian man. Like
yeah.
I would turn off my camera, but that would screw up some functionality of programs. So, but my thumbnail in Discord is me wearing my squid hat.
Oh.
I don't know where my squid hat. I think I packed it away. Remember, we got it when we went to Pismo Beach.
Oh yeah.
That's when I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was back in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Amazing.
And that had the insides already like destroyed because it was cheaply made, but yeah.
It's a squid.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure. Do you have one more, Blob? I wasn't counting. I need to really learn to count.
I did 3.
Okay. 1993. We got Indian cricket opening batsman Sunil Gavaskar scored an unbeaten 236 in drawn 6 tests versus West Indies at Chennai. His fourth test double century and 30th century, surpassing Don Bradman's record of 29.
That's not even English. It's
Yeah.
cricket.
It's not even English, it's cricket.
I find that word combination test versus West so funny.
Test versus West. The West test cricket wicket. You know, like, dude, like cricket wicket. It sounds like like a record scratch from a DJ. Cricket wicket. You know. I know I made that joke before. So.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's likely cricket.
Yes. Then in 1983, the U.S. formally notified UNESCO that it will withdraw from the organization as of January 1st, 1985, to protest over perceived anti-Western bias, efforts to restrict press freedom, and wasteful management methods. Huh.
So what's UNESCO?
I was talking to you about that the other day with the baguette. United Nations.
That's a burn.
What?
Oh my god, that's one burn. What's UNESCO?
Yeah, UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, is a specialized agency of the United Nations aimed at promoting world peace and security through international cooperation in education, arts, sciences, and cultures. And as we reported on Talkness, which is the Omni Coalition news show, for those who don't know, we have a news show. Haven't done one this week though, but they recently inducted the baguette into it's a cultural heritage thing for France, because like the past couple of years, between all the stuff, medically wise and all the lockdowns and everything, and with how costs are skyrocketing on all this stuff, the artisanal way of making bread, the old small mom and pop shops, the little bakeries, in the townships, it's all getting dominated by these manufactured, industrial, sized juggernaut corporations. So the actual art of making a baguette from scratch was at threat of being lost.
Jeez.
Yeah. So they made it a cultural world heritage thing in UNESCO to just keep it, lest it be forgotten to history. So and we are that close to losing anything, like, Like when you just sit there and think about, just not just, baguettes, but any cultural food, or any cultural practice or anything. All it takes, as who was it said, all it takes is one generation to lose something.
Yeah, Reagan.
Yeah, like
To lose the country.
yeah. Well, that's to lose the country stuff. But like, let's say if all of a sudden everybody's kid decided they didn't want to celebrate Christmas, there goes Christmas forever.
Yeah.
Because if they don't celebrate it, their kids won't, and then it's gone. All it takes is one generation. It's scary, These things have been around for thousands of years can be gone in about 50. So
Well, you can look at construction right here in our own community. All the old houses were built turn of the century back in, turn of 1900. They don't even know how to build that stuff anymore.
Oh yeah.
All that artistry is gone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've actually had to relearn construction techniques and such to figure out how people built like castles. And there's a project that's ongoing right now. It's been going on for a while. It's close to being done, but they were hand making an entire castle. Like not a massive castle, but a decent like an average because a castle it's not these big things that we know of. They're people's homes.
Yeah.
And then when they get bigger, they from being just a duke to a king. There's a massive difference. You're gonna have more land, more money, bigger castles and stuff. So they're building an entry level castle, but it's still gonna take 30 some odd years.
Well, are they building this full scale? Then?
Yes.
Just a smaller castle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's an entry level castle.
Yeah. Okay.
And without knowing too much
castle. Now that's a good term.
Without knowing too much about castles, because I saw a video about castles, and they really are just just a few rooms. If you think about it, our house would be like a mid-level castle.
Okay.
As far as the amount of rooms we have a kitchen, we have private bedrooms, we have an entertainment area, we have now formal areas. So that would be a medium level castle. Entry level castle would be about half this house as far as the amount of rooms and everything. And I know I'm going crazy about castles right now.
Turn them off, quick.
But no, they're hand making all the stones. They're using a human power, like the hamster wheel, to reconstruct, to relearn how to figure out historically how they did that. So
it's lost.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, but yeah, let's get back on track here in 1984.
Yeah, I was wanting to say the history of the United States withdrawing from UNESCO. It is a very long and complicated history, so we will put a link to the time.com article in the underbar.
Yep. Anyway, I believe it's your turn now, right? 1984?
Right. In 1984, Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi claims victory in the parliamentary elections. Right. Was that son of Indira Gandhi? Yes. So we talked about him the other day also.
Ah, yeah. He's the son of the two-tone lady.
Oh, yeah, yesterday. The day before in 84, he had won the victory, the general election, and now he claimed the victory in parliamentary elections.
Nice.
All right, and in the same year, we have another ice hockey legend, Wayne Gretzky. He scores the NHL career's 32nd hat trick and adds 3 assists in Edmonton's 6-3 win over Detroit Red Wings. And that is 100 points in just 35 games. The second fastest in history, recorded 100 points in 34 games in 1983. So he also did that.
That's not possible. I think they're talking about someone else that they failed to name here. I'm not sure, because this would make him the second fastest, with the fastest being 100 points in 34 games.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. No.
Well, they're implying it's him if they don't name someone else.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so that's for the season. Okay, so yeah, you're right. He beat his own record by 1 game.
Okay.
In this year versus the year prior. Because this is 1983 and this is 1984.
Yeah.
So. All right. Let's see. Do you have anything here in 1980s? No. Okay.
That's why the NHL games were named after him.
Ah.
Because he he was one of the greatest.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky is, really firmly in my mind. I don't know if it's because we've been talking about him a lot, but I think I knew him, knew of him prior to doing the show and reading all these articles of him. But I don't know.
Oh, in 1982, he became the first NHL to score 200 points in a season, by the way. Wow.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, we got him a little bit at the end of his career with the LA Kings.
Ah. Okay, that's probably why, because I probably heard him about in the Kings or something.
Could have been. That's still a long
Yeah,
time.
in the season where he scored the 200 points, by the way, he broke the record, which was 152 points in a season before.
Dang. So he's been breaking records and smashing his own records left and right.
Yeah, he didn't just break the record, he threw it away.
Yeah.
Wow. So there you go, Wayne Gretzky, greatest NHL player probably of his era.
Probably.
In 1989, Václav Havel, he was selected to be president of Czechoslovakia by the Federal Assembly shortly after the Velvet Revolution.
Huh.
So that was part of the, overthrowing the communists in Czechoslovakia in 1989.
That has got to be one of the most luxurious names for a revolution I've ever heard. It's the Velvet Revolution. I don't know. That sounds like a song, I don't know.
The salvation of this human world lies nowhere else than in the human heart, in the human power to reflect, in human meekness and human responsibility. That's a quote by him.
That sounds really true. Uno más?
I thought I had, but if you want, then I take the other one from 1989 below.
All right.
Because we just spoke about him.
Again.
Wayne Gretzky and Martina Navratilova, the tennis star, they were named athletes of the decade by the Associated Press of the 1980s.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I've heard of that name, Martina Navratilova.
Great tennis player. Yeah.
So tennis and hockey.
Yeah.
2 years later on this date in 1991, A Christmas Carol starring Patrick Stewart in a one-man show closed at Eugene O'Neill Theater, New York City after a limited run of 14 performances. I mean, dang, doing a one-man show 14 times, that's got to be boring.
Yeah.
It was a show about Christmas, so it was just seasonal probably.
Okay. Well, challenging, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, boring, definitely, because you're not interacting with people throughout the show.
It's
Yeah.
probably the most difficult thing to do, a one-man show.
Yeah. Good thing I'm not a one-man show.
And that was, by the way, 4 years after Star Trek: The Next Generation had debuted on syndicated TV.
Oh.
So he was very famous at that time already.
Yes. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise, as Alice would say.
Yeah.
But he was a Shakespearean actor, mainly.
Yeah.
But we know him for his TV series.
Well, he was also Professor X in the X-Men movies.
Never saw it.
Yeah. He was also Assistant something Bullock from American Dad. He voice acted for that. Yeah. Anyway, also in 1991, Boeing 747-200F freight plane of China Airlines crashed into a mountain shortly after takeoff from Chiang Kai-shek International Airport, Taipei, Taiwan, killing the 5-member crew. That sucks. Okay.
I was wanted to say before, Patrick Stewart also received the Order of the British Empire, so he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 2010.
Yes, Sir Patrick Stewart. Yes, he was knighted.
How about that?
Yep. 1993, Courtney Love sued doctors for leaking news of her methadone treatment.
That was the girlfriend of Kurt Cobain, right?
I don't know, but I 100% agree with her. That's confidential information. How and why did that information even get out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she was the wife of Kurt Cobain.
Ah, okay. Oh no. That's a tragedy. Wait, did she leave him before or what?
If you mean what I think you mean, then that happened on the 5th of April 1994.
Yeah, I'm wondering though, like were they in a relationship at that time, or did she leave him and add to his depression, or was that way before? Like, what's the timeline? Is what I'm wondering.
And-
Marriage is what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like, did they,
Yeah,
Their
that-
marriage.
what's the timeline of their marriage? Did they get divorced? Because you know what happened to Kurt Cobain.
What?
They
Killed
were
himself
they
in
were
the shower.
married. They were married on 24th of February 1992, and I don't see anything about the divorce, so they probably were still married.
All right, then that is a tragedy for her. So that's, and yeah, and this is before he offed himself, 1993. You said he Kurt Cobain did his thing in 1994. So maybe this
Yeah.
could have added to it. I don't know.
Well, she's trying to get better.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you got some sports history here in 1994, Mr. Blob.
All right, we have the Australian cricket spin king Shane Warne. He dismisses England's Phil de Freitas, Darren Goh, and Devon Malcolm for a famous hat-trick in the second Test win in Melbourne.
So he's a spin king, huh? He'd have no place on the O'Reilly factor, I think, the no spin
No
zone.
spin zone.
So
Still cricket.
yeah, cricket. What the hell is a spin
Crikey.
king? You know?
I hope it's not something like a spin doctor.
It's making me dizzy, I know that.
Ooh.
And oh, you found what a spin king is?
No, actually, let me look it up. What is spin king cricket?
Not to be confused with the kingpin.
What is a spin king? It is a rendition of a mid-engineered. No, that's a car. Hot Wheels.
Oh, so cricket is some car thing. Now we know.
No, it's just asking me. It's just giving me options. Who is a spinner bowl king? I don't think we're gonna figure this out. And I don't think we should be caring this much about cricket.
Oh, I found it.
Ah,
Actually, King of Spin or Spin King was his nickname.
Oh, okay.
okay.
And he got more than 700 international test wickets. I have no clue what that is, but it sounds interesting, impressive. I mean,
Well, we have the spin
he-
king, cricket wicket. You know.
because he was considered the best leg spin bowler.
Okay. We have bowling in a sport that has flat bats.
Oh no,
So,
he mastered the leg spin in cricket.
all
So
right.
so there are bowlers in cricket, and I don't know what that even means, but our audience, either they know or they are as clueless as we
Something
are.
like a pitcher, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. It's
I believe so.
some kind of spin on the ball, maybe.
Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right, let's continue. In 1997, Hong Kong begins slaughtering all its chickens to prevent bird flu.
I remember hearing about that. I was only 2
Yeah.
years old, but I remember hearing on the news like they're killing all the chickens. Like,
Yes, so let's just kill them all so they don't get sick. What a
I remember that.
yeah.
yeah.
And then do
That's-
you want to take the last 91, the 98 here before we do the split?
Yeah, talking about slaughtering in 1998, the leaders of the Khmer Rouge, that's the Cambodian communist thing, I think, back then, they apologized for the 1970s genocide in Cambodia that claimed over 1 million people.
I don't think an apology is going to be enough. You know, 1 million people.
Oh,
Whoops.
oh, I'm sorry that this happened.
Yeah. Oh, for Butterfingers.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, those were the commies in Cambodia.
Huh.
and um, the country is also known as Kampuchea.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Not know that.
Ah,
And we're going to do the split here. Alright, welcome to part 2. We are now in the 2000s, the next millennium. We're going to start us off here in the year 2001, in which Mesa Redonda Shopping Center fire in Lima, Peru, killed at least 291 people. Jeez. Yeah, like mall fires, well, all fires are awful, but can you imagine going somewhere to shop and hang out with your family and then all of a sudden there's a fire?
yeah.
Like,
Or
no.
the other side of it,
Yeah.
your family doesn't come home.
That's even worse. So,
Yeah.
and then 2007, Tom Brady, Doom Guy's favorite quarterback, set a then NFL record, throwing his 50th touchdown pass, and the New England Patriots became the first team in NFL history to finish the regular season 16-0. Dang.
It's got to be the GOAT of football, NFL football.
Yeah, but then the whole deflation thing happened, so I'm wondering how many times he did cheat. Is he all authentic? Like, always makes you question, So, but anyway, we also have in 2012, 200 people were executed by the Syrian army in Homs. Yeesh.
Yeah. During the Arab Spring, the Arab countries, they all had their revolutions and uprisings.
Yeah. I believe it's your turn now. You get to talk about more racing.
Yeah, in 2013, first 16 people are killed and 40 are wounded by a suicide bomb attack at the Volgograd 1 railway station in Russia.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Yeah, I think, was that part of the Russia-Chechenian war?
I'm not sure.
2013? I think so.
Yeah.
Russia was doing something, back then too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let me quickly look at this.
Suicide bomb attack, though. So this must have been, from the locals to the Russian occupiers. So.
Yeah. So it seems that it was, one of those post-Soviet conflicts.
Ah.
It seems about Dagestan.
Okay.
All right, let's continue with the other entry from 2013, the 7-time World Formula One. Oh my God, that's 9 years ago.
Yeah.
The 7-time Formula One motor racing world champion Michael Schumacher suffers a serious head injury in a ski accident in the French Alps. His condition still remains unclear.
Oh no, so he's...
Well, he was in a coma for quite a while, then he returned home, but he's permanently damaged from that. He's recovering from what I heard some years ago, but it's...
Not to lead a normal life anyway, at best.
That's tragic.
Yeah, it's likely he will not fully recover. Very sad story. He was... the German people very much loved him.
Yeah, we've spoken about him a lot on this show, Michael Schumacher. So.
Yeah, his younger brother Ralph, by the way, he's also a Formula One and Formula 3 champion.
Oh. All right, you have another one in 2013. You're just stuck in 2013 here.
Yeah, and the Syrian Observatory I cannot speak. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says barrel bombs on Aleppo, that's a town in Syria, have killed 517 people since the 15th of December, so 2 weeks ago at that time.
Yeah, 14 days, you're right, 2 weeks on the dot.
Actually, your English is quite good.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
I can understand you a lot better than I can understand Spike, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Or any Australian.
Yeah. Or any British. Or anybody who plays cricket.
There you go, yeah.
That's an entire different world.
Yes. And 2016...
Yeah, so...
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say Aleppo is the most populous governorate of Syria, and also itself a city, and that the city as of 2021 has a population of over 2 million people.
That's pretty good. Healthy city right there.
Just for some perspective.
Yeah. How much people are in LA? Los Angeles population 3.849 million. So they're slightly over half of us. Yeah. That's a really good city. That's a healthy city right there. Anyway, we move on up into 2016. U.S. President Barack Obama retaliated against Russia for hacking U.S. computer systems and trying to influence the 2016 presidential election by ejecting 35 Russian spies and imposing sanctions. This sounds like straight out of they keep utilizing this playbook. You know, they retaliate against Russia for hacking our systems, really for influencing the 2016 election that you won. Oh no, he didn't win.
Trump.
Oh, that's why they're saying it. Okay, yeah, they're all butthurt that they lost. Wah. Freaking.
Well, actually, Hillary lost, but they made the choice to put the only candidate up that would lose against this TV personality.
Well,
you're right.
As I've always said, Hillary's politics were too world known, and for whatever the powers that be wanted, they did not want to go the direction that would be a Hillary direction. She was not the person she's not the figurehead that they wanted to put in place to be the dancing monkey on stage. That's why they had Trump. He was a wild card. Nobody knew anything about him, and he would play the part perfectly because he was clay to be molded. Yeah. So.
So the Democrats put up their candidate, and from there on, it all went down Hillary.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
And then in 2018, the record lowest temperature of negative 111 Celsius was registered by U.S. satellite NOAA 20 in the Western Pacific at top of large storm. Dang. Negative 111 degrees.
Celsius.
Holy cow.
So to our readers, our listeners, I mean, don't go on top of a large storm.
No.
That's very cold.
Yes. Exceedingly cold. Then in 2020, just 2 years ago, Milwaukee Bucks break NBA record for most three-pointers made by a team in a single game with 29 in a dominant 144-97 victory over the Heat in Miami.
Jeez, 29 threes.
Also, by the way, in case you wonder, it is minus 111 Celsius is minus 167.8 Fahrenheit.
That's cold.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cold. Anyway, before we go on to Burst and Death's audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything that you wish we'd elaborated more on? Anything that you would have liked to add to the show had you been here? Start a dialogue in the comment section below. Anyway, I believe we're going to be losing the loons.
Yes.
All right.
Have a great day and enjoy it.
Thank you for joining.
You bet.
Yep. All right,
And
Mr. Vlog.
Also post your best Tom Brady memes.
Yes. Well, like, what was one of the jokes Zanny said? You want to know why the New England Patriots don't have a website? Because they can't string 3 W's in a row. God.
That's awful.
Anyway, do you want to start us off with deaths today in 1563? Births today in 1563.
Yes, in 1563 we have the birth of Francesco Maria. I think it's pronounced Gaetoli. He was Italian composer born in Carpi, Duchy of Modena and Reggio, and he died in 1628. Francesco Maria Gaetoli, probably.
All right. Oh, this lady again. She has a very round face.
Yeah, we have in 1709 the birth of Elizabeth of Russia. She was the Empress of Russia from 1741 to her death in 1762, and the daughter of Peter the Great, born in Kolomenskoye, Moscow, Russia.
Dang. We also have a birth in 1721. Madame de Pompadour, French mistress of French King Louis the 15th, born in Paris, France, dying in 1764. I've heard that. Madame de Pompadour.
Her name is very famous, and she was actually his chief mistress. So.
Yeah. I see one that's personally interesting here. In 1776, Charles Mackintosh, who was a Scottish chemist and an inventor. He invented waterproof fabric. Born in Glasgow, Scotland, died in 1843. So thank you for the raincoats, sir. Oh, right back to you, Blob.
I'm just. I didn't realize that. I forgot the name for the raincoat stuff. I will see later. But in 1800, we have Charles Goodyear, an American chemist and manufacturing engineer who invented the vulcanization process for rubber, born in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep.
And he died in 1860. And if you ever wondered where the Goodyear, why they are named Goodyear, those tires, then you know now.
Yeah, the Goodyear brand, because of the vulcanization, which I believe was an accident. Like, I think he knocked chemicals or did something around an open fire or something like that.
I don't know. Also, for Charles Mackintosh, the word I was searching for is gabardine.
What was that?
I don't know how it's written, but it's gabardine, something like that.
Gabardine? Gabardine? Oh. Is a durable twill worsted wool, a lightly woven fabric, originally waterproof and used to make suits, overcoats, trousers, uniforms, windbreakers, the list goes on. Is this what you're talking about?
Yes, because there is this a song by Simon and Garfunkel. I thought he was wearing a raincoat. Never mind. I guess I got that wrong. In 1808, we have the birth of President Andrew Johnson. He was the 17th U.S. president for the Unionist Party from 1865 to 1869. He was born in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he died in 1875. And of course, he became president after Mr. Lincoln went to the Ford Theater, and that's not the best play that he ever watched.
Well, I would disagree. I'd say it was a mind-blowing experience.
Well, and oh my God. And Andrew Johnson was 18 when he wed Elizabeth McCardle, and she was 16 at the time. So
dang.
That just shows you how early they were marrying back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh, back in those days, you died in your late 20s, early 30s, from the rickets or consumption or something.
Those were happier times in that regard, at least for some people.
Yeah.
Not for all.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, it's your turn again.
Yep. We got William Gladstone in 1809. He was a British statesman and Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Liberal Party from 1868 through 74, 1880 through 86, 1892 through 94. Born in Liverpool, England, and dying in 1898. Wait, yeah, okay, so he died 4 years after his last term. So, dang, so he was Prime Minister 3 times. That's cool. So.
Yeah.
And then we also have, in 1879, Billy Mitchell, a U.S. Army general, a father of the Air Force, born in Nice, France, dying in 1936. So a Frenchman was the father of the U.S. Air Force.
And
how fitting.
Oh, I think. Yes, he was born there. Yes.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is he is not to be confused with a video game player of the same name.
Yes. The guy who apparently he cheats.
Yeah. Yes. No. We don't want to get sued. We will not talk about that. But you can look it up. King of Kong and whatever. That's where he started. after
he can
that,
send me all he wants. I don't have anything to even take. I'm in California. Come on.
yeah, after that it turned out, that his arcade game records were made on a modified board, and he says he didn't know about it. And but not to be confused with it with the father of the U.S. Air Force,
Yeah.
or the other way around.
Well, you get to talk about this fuker over here. Talking about one fuker to another. This guy looks like Harry Potter.
We we will, yes. In 1911, we have the birth of Harry Potter. No, wait, of Klaus Fuchs. German-British atomic physicist and spy for the Soviet Union. He was born in Rüsselsheim, German Empire, and he died in 1988. And Rüsselsheim is famous as the seat of the automobile, how do you call it, Opel. The manufacturer, that's the...
What?
Are you... Opel, O-P-E-L, the automobile manufacturer.
O-P-E-L. Opel, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he was related to that, but atomic physicist and spy doesn't sound like it.
I don't believe so. So, no, this is the guy who stole, he stole nuclear secrets and leaked to the Soviet Union. And for whatever reason, we didn't execute him, and we actually released him from jail. You would think that would have been high treason, you know?
Oh, it's that guy. Oh my.
Yeah, this fuker. So.
Cut it out after the show. That word. In 1917, we talked about Tom Brady before. Now we have someone with a very similar name,
wow.
Tom Bradley. He was American politician and mayor of Los Angeles for the Democrat Party from 1973 to 1993. He was born in Calvert, Texas, and he died in 1998.
A Texan mayor of LA? Wow, that's something.
He was the first and so far only African American mayor of Los Angeles. His 20 years in office also marks the longest tenure of any by any mayor in the city's history.
Obviously, was doing a good job.
I mean, nobody wants to be in Los Angeles anyway, so...
No.
At least last I heard.
No, I'm trying to get the hell out of here.
Maybe it was different back then.
Back then, not as bad. Still bad. So... We got Mary Tyler Moore, born on this date in 1936. She is a U.S. Emmy, or she was, I didn't know she died, U.S. Emmy Award-winning actress, the Dick Van Dyke Show, Laura, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and Ordinary People, born in Brooklyn, New York, dying in 2017. I did not know that.
Yeah, there is that rumor that the name Dick Van Dyke means something very inappropriate. You can look it up at Snopes.com, but that rumor is not true.
Well,
it is just the name.
Assess, so.
Yeah, it is just the name of the guy who made the show.
Yep. Then we got Ray Nitschke in 1936, a U.S. Pro Football Hall of Fame linebacker, 15-time NFL Championship, Super Bowl of 1967 and 68, first team All-Pro 1964 and 66 for the Green Bay Packers, born in Elmwood Park, Illinois. All right.
And he died in 1998.
Oh, yes, he did. 1998, yeah.
Yeah. In 1938, we have... I don't know how to pronounce that name. John Voight. It's his 84th birthday. American actor for Deliverance and Midnight Cowboy. He was born in Yonkers, New York.
Oh, Yonkers.
Is that a real name?
Yeah, it's a real city. Yonkers.
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 Yes. All right, and in 1946 we have, I think it's pronounced Lafitte Pincay Jr. He's 76 years old today. Happy birthday! He is a jockey from Panama, and he won the Kai Derby 1984 and the Belmont 1982 to 84, and Swale, or he played for Swale, I don't know. He was born in Panama City, Panama.
I think Kai Derby is Kentucky Derby because he was a horse racer.
Kentucky Derby, yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah, then there's of course the Belmont, Derby. I've never heard of Swale before, but
Oh, that's probably the name of his horse then.
Maybe.
Wow, that.
Oh yeah, we get to talk about this guy. You mentioned that earlier.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, you're talking about David Boone. Remember the cricketer?
Oh yes.
Yeah. He was born on this date, David Boone, 1960. He is an Australian cricket batsman. 107 tests, 7,422 runs at 43.65, 21 time 100s, 181 ODIs, mate. Born in Launceston, Tasmania, Australia. Tasmania? Oh, no wonder he looks like such a wild boy. He was a Tasmanian devil. Look at that. Crikey.
Yeah. He's a handsome devil.
Yeah.
But I looked it up. Swale is the name of the horse of one of the horses, Mr. Pinkay Jr.
Yep. And then we have this guy, Carlos Puigdemont, born on this date in 1962. He is a Catalan politician and nationalist, president of Catalonia for 2016 through 17. Born in Aymer, Catalonia, Spain. I've seen that picture a couple times. Looks familiar. Looks like old Harry Potter.
He was a lot in the European news, and I also don't know how to pronounce him.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
Yeah.
And we have in 1972 someone I actually know. It is the name. It is Jude Law. It's his 50th birthday today, so happy birthday. He was English actor in the talented Mr. Ripley, the Grand Budapest Hotel, and he was born in London.
So happy $50 birthday, my friend.
Yes. But I think he also did a lot of movies that were more famous than those both.
I don't recognize, I kind of recognize his face, but I mean, all Hollywood actors kind of have a look, especially actresses. They all look the same. But Jude Law is a name that's in my brain for whatever reason. So, wait, wasn't he?
He was in the science fiction horror movie Existence in 1999. That's and in AI, artificial intelligence in 2001. Road to Perdition.
Where I recognize him from in AI.
Yeah, Road to Perdition, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, and so on and so on.
I think I've seen Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. I'm not sure.
So they just chose one movie that everyone knows and another one that probably knows. People know, but not the ones that we know him from.
Yep.
All right, and in 1982, so it's her 40th birthday today, we have Alison Brie, American actress for Community and Glow. In Community and Glow, of course. Born in Los Angeles, California.
I've seen Community. Well, not the actual show, but I've seen clips and such. I wonder who she played Community. Which one was she?
You could say she did her community service.
Okay.
So.
Okay, no, I recognize her now. Okay.
I don't.
And you get to pick.
She voiced Diane Nguyen, however that's pronounced. I'm very bad with those names. In the animated comedy series BoJack Horseman. So that's where you might know her from.
Dude, I binge watched the 2 seasons of BoJack Horseman at a friend's apartment once while we were both completely smashed on the devil's lettuce. And I don't remember a single thing about it. I just remember laughing and yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we'll just move on up into deaths. Do you want to start us off here in 721?
In 721 we have Empress Jamel No, Gemai. Wait, Empress Gemai. I don't know, of Japan. She was born in 661.
Yep.
So she was probably 60 years old.
Roughly. Yeah.
Unless her birthday was after the 29th.
Huh.
And in
This guy.
1160, we talked about him at the beginning of the show. We have Thomas Becket again, the English Archbishop of Canterbury from 1162 to 70. He was assassinated by 4 knights of King Henry II at the age of 52.
Dang.
Won't someone get... no, rid me of this priest.
Yeah.
That's where that phrase comes from.
Yep. Ooh. Rah, Rasputin. We have Grigory Rasputin died on this date in 1916, allegedly, maybe, like, the jury's still out on that one. A Russian monk and confidant of Russian Tsar Nicholas II, assassinated by conservative Russian aristocrats at the age of 47. This is after he drank an entire, multiple glasses of poison spiked drink and poison spiked food. Wasn't he also shot and then dumped in a river?
Yeah, he did. He just refused to die, and then he dragged himself out, and I don't know.
Yeah, so he was
Wasn't that the story of him?
He was a mystic,
Yeah, in 1914, by the way, on the 29th of June, Gina Guseva attempted to assassinate him at his hometown in Siberia.
Huh.
So he already had survived one assassination attempt at a time, at least.
And this guy, this is why Rasputin is a villain in the first Hellraiser movie. He's the guy who cannot die. He's also a villain. He's also a villain for every racer company. Yeah. And I believe it's your turn again.
Yeah, and Grigory Rasputin, of course, is a very interesting person, so we'll put a link to his Wikipedia article in the underbar. In 1986, we have another Russian, or rather Soviet person, Andrei Tarkovsky. He was born in 1932, died in 1986. Soviet filmmaker and director. Andrei Rublev, Mirror, Stalker. He died at 54.
Dang.
So, I don't know any of those movies, but he was widely renowned for his critically acclaimed films.
Alright. Let's see here. We also have Lita Gray, died on the state in 1995. She was a U.S. actress and second wife of Charlie Chaplin, died of cancer at the age of 87. So second wife of Charlie Chaplin, huh? Well, dang. Who else do we have here? Tony Gray, 2012, was an English cricket captain, all-rounder, 1972 through 77, and commentator, died from a heart attack at the age of 66. Huh.
You skipped Harold Macmillan, I see.
I do. Harold Macmillan? Oh, I did. My bad. And my internet cut out there for half a second. So, all of a sudden you were really quiet and I didn't know what was going on, so I just started reading.
Yes. Harold Macmillan, he lived from 1894 to 1986. He was a British Conservative politician and Prime Minister from 1957.
All right. And I already...
same year.
And the internet just crashed my stream here. So, at least my stream on Discord.
Yeah, but we are through with the show, it seems.
See, I did Tony Gregg, and then, that's about it. So, Yeah, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of passive events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, and
7 p.m. German time. That's not 19 in German time.
Alright. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I'm Protoblob.
And you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. And before I fully sign out, don't forget we have a closing out 2022, the Welcome In 2023. The Omni Coalition presents the Kick Peanuts live stream extravaganza this Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time until midnight. Show up, be there, be square.
And also we were joined by the the Golden Lou earlier.
Yes, that's right. We had the Golden Loon. Thank you for reminding me, good sir. I knew I had you on the show for a reason. Yes, the legendary Loon of Goldenness was on the show earlier today. Anyway, with all that said, don't forget to look, as I said, right and left, yada yada yada. Toodles!